I'll tell you who won, Poppy. Rand Paul made his three-peat. This was expected. Wow. This is a very libertarian crowd, young crowd. You can hear him in the back behind me, very excited as they're getting the results here. But what was interesting, number 2, Scott Walker. He had a very strong performance here a few years ago. He took number 2, and he was at 7% last year. This year, he had 21% of the straw poll. He lost to Rand Paul, who had 25%. And there you go. They just announced Rand Paul as the winner. You can hear the excitement behind me, Poppy. People are very excited in the background here.
I think, Chris, it's really interesting. We've seen this momentum behind Scott Walker recently. But when you look at the reality of how this plays out in predicting the next president, what's the history there?
Well, it doesn't always have a history of predicting the next president. The poll is very good as a snapshot for where this particular conservative group is right now. This is a very conservative face, very libertarian, and you start to see who has momentum going into the election season. And certainly Scott Walker has that momentum. He is up in the polls in Iowa, and he's coming out of this looking very strong. Rand Paul held on. He needed to make sure that he held his crown for a 3rd year in a row. He did that. And another thing to mention here, Poppy, Jeb Bush came in 5th place with 8%. That's not that is not surprising. You know, he came in, had a very strong showing, kind of walked into the lion's den here and had a strong, respectable showing. But this is not his crowd. This crowd is much more conservative, much more libertarian. So not a surprise there. And certainly Jeb Bush has other advantages, such as a donor class that's behind him. The establishment's pretty excited about Jeb Bush. So just because he came in poorly here doesn't mean that he doesn't have a shot. This is just a snapshot in time. I think it's important for people to remember that.